Welcome back, boys and girls. Welcome to another exciting lesson with Miss Brown. Get your writing books and let's get ready to begin. So as always, turn to a fresh new page. You are going to put in the left-hand column the book and then the number. Today the book number is 130. The title of our book is Getting Even with Stephen. So I'm not quite sure what day you're going to do this, but whatever date it is for you, I want you to put the date on the right-hand side. So you can do it abbreviated, you can write the whole thing out. Doesn't really matter to me. Just put a date so that I have an idea of when you did it. And today we're going to be working on some more word work. Here's a long word, multi-syllable words. So we know that syllable means parts because that's what we talked about last time. So you have parts of a word. So Paget has two parts. Multi means many. Okay, so words with many syllables. So behind me, I have some words. I want you to write these words down in your notebook with a little bit of space in between. The first word, try to say it before I do. Support, challenge, upward, important, ignore, washer, splashing, gossip, tractor, and follow. So at this point, I need you to get all these words written down so I can tell you what our activity will be. So you can put me on pause. And you should have gotten all the words written down. We're ready to begin. Okay, so you learned a long time ago back in P1 that there are 26 letters in the alphabet. So there are 5 vowels, A, E, I, O, U, sometimes Y, and all the other letters are called consonants, okay? So sometimes it's a little bit tricky to figure out where do you split a word if you want to divide it into syllables. Well, one trick is that you can look to see if there are 2 consonants surrounded by 2 vowels. Okay, so let me show you what I mean. In this word support, in the middle of the word, we have 2 consonants. So this P is a consonant, and this other P is a consonant. And then surrounding these 2 consonants, we have 2 vowels, a U and an O. Okay, so we can actually split in between the 2 P's. So we have support. Okay, look at the word challenge. If I'm looking in the middle of the word, again, I see 2 consonants. I see 2 vowels surrounding them. So I can actually split in between the 2 L's. Challenge. One more. The last word, upward. I see 2 consonants. I see it's surrounded by 2 vowels. And I can split in between the 2 consonants. Upward. So what I want you to do in your books, and I'm not going to see it until you return your books to me next week, is for all of these words, important, ignore, washer, splashing, gossip, tractor, follow, I want you to divide the words into 2 parts, okay? So 2 syllables, okay? Can you hear that rain outside? Goodness, this is a day to be home snuggled under the covers. Okay, so now we're going to be reading Getting Even with Stephen, but just as a reminder, whenever we do word work, it's to help you when you come across words that you might not know how to pronounce, and also with your spelling. So I hope that you don't think that it's a waste of time, because when you're coming to those words and you get stuck, these are strategies that you can use to help you decode and pronounce these words. Okay, so our book today is called Getting Even with Stephen, fiction or nonfiction. So this is a fiction book. It's fake. It's made up. And it's all about a boy named Stephen who likes to play practical jokes. Okay? And our main character is a girl named Susan, and she is really sick and tired of Stephen's practical jokes, so she tries to get back at him. This story is written in first person. Do you know what that means if a story is written in first person? If a story is written in first person, that means it's written from the point of view of the person that's telling it. So you can tell because they use I and me. I saw Stephen come to school on his bike. He put a frog in my backpack. Okay, so that means it's in first person. All right? Okay, so as we're reading the story, I want you to think Sorry, boys and girls, I lost my train of thought. I had to go to my notes. As you're reading this story, I want you to think about how the author lets us know that time has passed. So there's something special that the author does with each section that we know that an amount of time has passed and we're at a different stage. Okay? All right, so I'm going to read a bit of the book with you as always. I'm going to press pause. I want you to press pause and continue reading the rest of the book. All right, so Getting Even with Stephen. Okay, so page 2. Stephen Price is the class clown. He makes funny noises while Miss Redfield is trying to teach. He tells silly jokes and asks dumb riddles. Miss Redfield, says Stephen, what word is always pronounced wrong? I don't know, said Miss Redfield. The word wrong is always pronounced wrong. Stephen laughed and laughed. When Stephen isn't telling jokes, he is playing tricks. I don't mind when Stephen plays tricks on Miss Redfield or on some other kid. I just hate it when he plays tricks on me. I try to avoid him. I try to ignore him. He gets me every time. All right, so do you see the first person? So she says, I try to avoid him. He gets me every time. So it's in first person point of view. On Monday, we were studying measurement. Stephen asked me to help him measure part of the hallway for his project. I told him I was busy, figuring out the area all the pages in our math book will cover in square feet. This will just take a minute, he said. He had a piece of string 30 feet long. He wanted to see if it would reach to the cafeteria. I held one end of the string and Stephen went down the hall and around the corner. Pretty soon, I felt the string get tight. I thought he was measuring. I thought he would come right back. I waited and waited. I worried about my own work. I wanted to let go. I kept holding the string. Okay, so I'm going to stop right there. So at this point, I want you to put me on pause and continue reading the rest of Getting Even with Stephen. Okay, so you should have completed Getting Even with Stephen, and you can see that Susan was able to get a little bit of joy out of playing a trick on Stephen. So, when we get to the comprehension section, I'm not going to spend a lot of time asking you lots of different questions because I just want to bring your attention to certain things in the text. So today I want us to take a look at time passing and predictions. Okay, so there's a way that the author allows us to know that time has passed in this book. Okay, so I'm going to give you a clue. If we look on page 4, she gives us a clue to let us know that time has passed. If you look on page 9, she gives us a clue. So what I want you to do is I want you to tell me, how does the writer show that time is passing? What does the writer do to show us that time is passing? Okay, that time is moving on. And the second question is I want you to make a prediction. A prediction is a guess based on the information about what you think is going to happen next. So, read the final paragraph. If this story was to continue, what do you predict would happen next? So, if the author was to write another chapter or a second, if this was to be a series and there was going to be a second book to this, what do you predict based off the last paragraph would happen next? Okay? All of this, I want you to have it written down in your writing books because when you return to school, I'm going to want to see all the wonderful things that you've been up to. Okay? And this is also going to help me see where you're at as a reader, as a writer, and what we need to work on as far as comprehension. Okay? So stay dry, and I will see you in the next lesson. Bye.